with a sweep today. Right here,
well, thank you, Bob, and glad to see everybody here. We're on lane 3 and 4 at Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis, and I'm here with the commissioner, Danny Finn.
How are we doing, Dan?
Doing great, and we see Rob Linehan pick up the first mark of the match in the first box of the match.
Huge barrier. You got to start off early. When you're the first bowler, you really got to set that pace. Justin Waters harps on that a lot, and he's right.
More Danny Finn.
Okay, little mic check there. Is that better?
Oh, that's better.
Okay, good. Just had to turn up the gain. We had to fiddle with that sometimes. So Rob puts 5 in his field for 15 at the first ball.
It's tough when you hit the head pin like that and only drop 5. You feel like you should get more out of those.
Yeah, you got another mark. You need to do something about the pins here, Dan. I hit the head pin and I get splits out all the time.
Hey, I can't make them fall down for you. Steve makes it nice and shiny for a lot of people, but still gonna make them fall.
That's 3 for 3 on the head pin. 6 in the fill and a 2, 3, 9, 10. But he's got some wood there. I think might help him.
Bob's really gonna have to get a lot of wins here. Jake's at 5 strings left. Robbie's this is his last one, and he's just outside the playoff contention now.
Almost.
He's gonna need a lot of wins.
So today, to remind everybody, and I think most of our viewers have probably seen a lot of these matches, but the format of the ACST, it's a scratch tournament, and the bowlers will bowl 5 games today, and we're bowling 5 boxes at a time. So we're starting on lane 4. The visiting bowler, Rob Linehan, goes first. After he finishes his first 5 boxes, then Jake Cook will come up on lane 4, and after Jake finishes 5, he'll go over to lane 3. The bowlers are bowling for points in the standings. They get 2 points for each game they won, and Rob just threw his third mark in the 4th box. They get 2 points for each game that they win, and 4 points for total score. And right now, all points are all important. Jake is on the bubble for the playoffs. He's ranked number 8 in his division. Rob's ranked number 11. Jake has 4 more matches after this match to go. This is Rob's last match. So potentially Rob could still contend for a playoff spot with a big win here. So it ain't over yet for either bowler. But we have 2 really good bowlers here. It's an A-division match.
Yeah, that's when you're going to see a lot of the explosion, a lot of marks. They're going to go on runs at this level. Not a lot of mistakes.
So Rob's at 66 at the half, and now our friend Jake Cook will come up.
Not bad, too. 4 to 5 on the head pin, too. Got 3 marks to show for it.
Reasonable fills. Not big fills. A 5, a 6, and a 5. But they weren't disasters either.
And the first 2 fills he had were both right on the head pin. The only one he missed was that last one.
Now we get to see Jake. Jake is the house record holder, so far as we know, here at Millis, with a 194 string not too long ago.
Incredible.
And now he starts. He missed a head pin, but he got a good break. He got the 1 and a 9 pin. It's makeable, but there's not a lot of margin for error on this. And he gets it.
Big mark. You want to stay even with your guy, box for box, if you can. You don't want to fall too behind too early.
Well, Jake's a tough competitor, that's for sure. Throws a good, solid ball. We're showing 35 miles an hour on the radar down at the pins.
Average-wise, these 2 bowlers are very close. They're within a pin of each other, both in the 114s.
Yeah, Rob is averaging. Well, that's a disappointing 3 fill on that. Rob's averaging 114.01 for the ACST tour, and Jake is averaging 114.58. So it's about half a pin difference over a lot of games.
And as Rob just mentioned too, these 2 gentlemen were Worlds partners as well.
So Jake punched through and only took down 4 in his first 2 balls, so he's got 6 to go. He needs a big out here. He's going to be behind him. And a 6 box for 19 after 2. So in the first 2 boxes, that puts Jake down 12 pins. But he's up against an open box here, so there's an opportunity to catch up.
Absolutely. There's a lot of room to go.
Yeah, also, long ways to go.
Also, as you said, they're going to bowl 5 strings, so total pinfall is real important. So even if you feel like you're out of the string, which is too early to feel that way. You still want to eat back at that total pinfall.
That I know well from personal experience, bowling my friend Steve Carden the other day. I won game 1, 3, and 4.
Big stick.
And there's a spare for Jake in the third as he won it. And after 4 games in that match, I've got 3 games in the bank. I'm up by, 9 pins in total. So they come into the 5th game, and as long as I stay even with them, I've got 10. I get a pin ahead, I've got 12. And what happens, I absolutely collapsed. Missed 4 easy spares through an 85 game. Not only lost a string, but that gave him total too. So instead of walking out with 10 or 12, I walked out with a loss, 8-6. Very disappointing. So total is very important, and any one game can throw it. So he puts 5 in it, Phil. 34 after 5, and another mark. Down in completed boxes, but getting a lot closer, and another spare. Just strike on this, he's within 2, and he's against an open frame in the 5th.
Yeah, a lot of openings here for Jake. Take advantage here, especially if he can mark again right here.
And 6 in the fill, that puts him at 50, down 6 pins and completed. But he's got that 1, 2, 9, 10 again. Wood's not as good as it was for Rob. And he's off a little bit, just picks up the 9. He's going to be open in the 5th box.
Still going to get pins back at this point.
Yeah, still close. So a couple of years ago, I was the victim of Jake bowling in league night when he threw a 5 strike in a row set against me. Comes in and first 5 boxes of the game was all strikes for him. Jake closes at 57 after 5, and Rob's got an early 9-pin lead.
One mark, we can see that evaporate real quickly. We haven't seen any huge fills, but they have been marking a lot.
Yeah, they both have 3 so far. And
Rob's been a little bit more accurate, 4 to 5 on the head pin. Jake's not as on the head pin, but 45 more boxes. Once he finds his rhythm, Jake can go on runs.
Yeah, he's just got 2 open boxes that weren't that strong. All right, Rob is on the head pin again, and he's left with a lambda on the left side, or a check mark, I would call it. Rob's and that's a 2, 4, 5, 7. He's got a big juicy piece of wood right in front of it. I think the red line takes it. And I was wrong.
He was a little left of the red line.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from my perspective.
I think red line or right. I agree with Rob. He said he likes it better with the wood not there, and I actually agree with that.
Yeah, it's less random then. You have a better shot at it, I agree. And an 8 box. 74 after 6. See if I can find the match and see if I can locate comments. So here we are.
Ooh. Rob leaves a 4, 6, 7, 10.
All right,
I don't think that wood, I was going to say I don't think the wood's going to be in play, but wood fell off, so it's definitely not in play.
So we've got some viewers on, Dave Peterson, Drew Steele, and Kyle Hetty. Great to see you guys. And I agree with you, Drew. Jake is dangerous. He throws some monster games sometimes, and when he gets on a roll, watch out.
I don't think there's anybody in the A that you would say isn't dangerous. I mean, there's a reason they're in the A. It's because they're all good.
All 32 of them.
Yeah.
The cuts are a lot tougher now for each division.
Every year the groups are spread eagle. Every year the groups seem to get a little bit tougher, which is great for the game. It's tough to be bowling against them, but it's great for the game.
Rob on a spread eagle, and he just touches the 3-pin. So
I like the idea of going whole side. It's a little dangerous, but he went for it, and unfortunately I got one to show for it.
You go inside of the spread eagle?
I go inside on the spread eagle.
Well, he gets out of that with a 7. Not what he wanted, but got more than half of them anyway. And he's at 90 after 8 boxes. So he hasn't had a mark in his second half yet. He's got 2 to go.
Still a lot of head pin shots. He wants to keep throwing that same ball, regardless of the leave. He's got to keep throwing that same ball. You can't keep getting splits like that every time.
Now he's on the head pin again. He gets 3 on the left, 2 on the right. And I think that wood's not angled great, but if he can move it over to the right, he might have a shot at this. Oh, he's too far on the 7th pin. But that's what he was thinking.
Kind of curious if he was going to go on the right side of it and see if he can catch something into the wood. But he played the 3.
Or does he go for a finish? Well, let's see.
He's got to go right where
there.
he went.
Not bad. 9 bucks. 99 after 9.
I think on a spare shot like that, I might have been tempted to go right side and try to cut it over into the wood.
I would be afraid of, in that leave, capping the wood and putting it in the pit.
I can understand that too. On the 3rd ball, you just want to maximize pins.
Yes. Yeah, and he was on the right-hand pocket that time and took out 8. He's got the 4 and the 8 makeable spare.
This might be the first makeable spare he's had this half.
And he just clips off the 8 pin, leaving the 4 standing, so he'll be open in the 10th.
It's amazing how bowlers know as soon as it comes right out of their hand, they know where it's going. Like,
I
heard him yell no.
And a 9 box for a 108 finish for Rob Linehan.
It's a tough half for Rob. 42 half after a 66.
And the door's open for Jake.
Jake's gonna need a 51 half at this point, so one mark.
And I see that Tim and Scott Douglas are both watching. Great to see you guys. So Jake coming up on lane 3 for the 6th box. And a half Worcester left, just off the head pin. You going on the inside, Danny?
I always go inside on that shot.
Yeah, I do too. I made it the other day doing that. I had a tournament back in Natick one time where I threw, I'll mark it down, 3 half Worcesters in a row. I made 2 of them for the spare. I was not happy by the 3rd one, and Jake's not happy after a 5 box. It's been 62 after 6.
He still has room. He's only down 12 at this point.
2 marks.
All open boxes.
2 marks, and Jake will very possibly pull something like that out.
Good pinning and a good fill. He could get away with 1. He's 46 through 4.
And he was on the head pin that time. Is he going to get some more action? Well.
Oh, wait a minute. One more foul.
Oh, he didn't want that to go.
No, it was better off the way it was.
He's got to hit a 7-10 clean. Or something out of the right-hand gutter, maybe. I don't know. He's going to the left and picks up the 7 pin only.
10 box will still be big here. Still get a pin back.
Yeah, then he gets a mark with a big fill or 2 marks and an 8, 9, and 10. He's very capable. And a 10 box for Jake Cook, 72 after 7. He gained a pin there.
That's solid 10. Down 11, but again, all open boxes down the run for the road runner, Rob Linehan.
And hi, Rick, Shannon, and Justin. I see you all here.
Ooh.
And Jake's off on my alternative 6 pin when I'm having a bad Ted pin. The 6 pin is my alternative sometimes. Sometimes I get locked in on that. And this is a makeable sparrow. It's going to be in the 1-3 pocket, 1-2 pocket. Just off. And he's left with the 1, 3, and 7 to make the 10 box.
Well, again, we're still looking for 10 boxes here. You want to make it so if you do get 1 mark, the fill doesn't have to be astronomical.
He gets this, he's only 8 back. And there it is. 82 to 90 after 8. He's up against 2 open boxes, so he needs 26 pins.
Yeah, he still can get away with 1 mark here. Throws an explosive enough ball.
Oh, there you go.
That might be the best shot he's had at it all day.
He's got to just watch that front wood, I think, and just go straight at the 5 pin. Which he does, and there's a mark. Mark in the 9th gives him 92 plus a ball. At this point in the game, Rob was at 99.
Yeah, big fill here puts him in a good spot to take 2.
Bounces it in, gets a little bit of a break, not a big fill that he wanted, and a tough leave. So 4 in the fill, he puts it down 3 pins and completed. Needs a mark here. Needs a spare 3 to win.
Baseball might go.
Still makeable. You want to play like it's a half Worcester at this point.
Right there.
Oh my goodness, that was a well hit ball.
Yeah, it's as good of a bid you're going to get.
That backwood stop.
Yeah.
So Rob Linehan's going to take the first string. We're just waiting on total points at this point. And again, total pinfall is important, and you don't want to give away pins. And Jake with a 6 box.
And that gives Jake 102. So the first string will go to Rob Linehan, 108 to 102. And Rob picks up 2 points. Jake's obviously not happy with that, but he'll come back here. I have no doubt about that. He had a couple of tough boxes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 marks, and Rob had 3. Yeah.
Rob definitely seemed to be more on the head pin.
He was there. He buried it, and not a great lead for that.
I'll see if that wood can help carry it over. It's going to be tough, but
I don't know. I don't know where I'd hit that one. I think I'd spray and pray at that point. Well, he threw everything in the right direction.
Absolutely.
A little deep. Best you can hope for sometimes.
yeah, with the wood like that, and some of the good sidewall action we have here, sometimes you just hit it and hope. Well, actually, that might have taken it the way it went over.
Yeah, $10
It came
for
straight
Rob.
across.
And I see Rick Kamrowski has joined us, and Todd Trumpus and Bob Brown. Great to see all you guys again. I haven't seen Todd or Bob in a while. In person.
Oh, Rick,
And right hand
like
pocket.
Jake is in 8th place in the B's, holding on to that last wild card spot.
What is this?
Diamond left +2 on the right. Got to hit it just right on the left-hand side of that first pin, I think. Right up, and it's on the right side.
It's the right ball.
And almost.
Can't get it to carry. Rob is all over his object right now.
Like a magnet down there for him. So before we started, Bob Lee here was bowling some games on this very lane through a 130 string.
I'm glad I didn't bowl you, Bob.
And Rob definitely wanted to bowl in these 2 lanes, he said. He said Bob Lee heated him up for him, warmed him up for him.
Well, we see
John Mark Wright.
and Rob's doing play-by-play from the lane, apparently. Checkmark's a little bit better than the one we saw before with no wood out in front, but
Just off his object.
still got to hit the front one.
That's
be
the
the first
first object he missed.
Yeah, as Bob just said, it's the first object he missed all game.
Rob's throwing about 27, 28 miles an hour, not quite as fast as Jake. Bob's going to put the radar on it. All right, so Jake's at 39 off the hand. Rob has $9. And if you haven't seen us use this before, what we've learned, and Bob picked up Rob at 30 miles an hour on the release.
We're going to try the check mark on the other side now. So the reason that the ball is going to be faster on the gun versus what we see up on the screen there is the sensor for the speed is about 55 feet rather. 55 miles, 55 feet down the lane.
Feels like
so
miles sometimes.
So that friction, especially when you're looking at a single, so that friction is going to take some off the ball. Or what Bob's going to be able to track is the ball coming out of the hand.
Yeah, you lose some friction in the lane. No oil on these lanes.
No.
So a $9 for Rob. He's open all the way through so far. 38 after 4. And in the pocket and awful close to a strike.
He's good for a left-handed bowler.
Yeah, he's in the correct left pocket for him. And he's all over it, out with the mark, 48 plus a ball after 5 in game 2 at the halfway point for Rob.
And in my opinion, Rob bowled significantly better than that half. He was all over his object for most of that half. If he can keep that up on lane 3, I think good things are going to happen.
And greetings to Chuck Rendell, watching from Bar Harbor, Maine. And Jake on the 3-pin, and he's left with a 1-2-10, makeable spare.
Absolutely. We saw him make this earlier, I believe, for a 10 box.
too full. Too full.
Well, that's where you want to hit it. You have to be so razor thin perfect in this game.
Yeah, there's not much margin there. You got to either kick the one pin over or maybe deflect the ball. The pin's a lot better at that. And he goes for a right on the pin. Doesn't try anything fancy. Leaves with a $9.
There we go. I'm trying to hog the mic. I'm sorry, Dan.
That's okay. It's an Omni, but we have to fiddle with it a little bit sometimes. And it's challenging for me because when I put the headphones on the mic, I don't get the sound I want, so I'm not wearing headphones today. And so I'm kind of depending on Bob to tell me how we sound because I have no way of knowing.
Jake buried the headphone out and leaving this awful lead here.
8, 9, 10.
I don't think that was going to help him.
No. I think maybe if he just like touched the left side of the 9, it might have done it, but
that's really the
almost
only play.
impossible shot.
It's really the only play. When you have parallel pins like that far apart.
I did it recently, 5-6. You saw the video.
That's true.
I'll never do that again in my life. But
almost cut the 9 of the 10 there, but just left for the 9 pin.
Only
down 3.
8 box, 17 after 2. Pinning well, 9 and an 8. I'm expecting him to explode at any minute.
Another head pin shot.
A little left of the head pin. 3, 6, 7, 10. Again, you got to cut it over. You got to get in that pocket and Jake's move wood over that left-hand side.
Jake's definitely finding the head pin a lot more often. He's had nothing to show for it.
Yeah, he's light on the head pin on the left side of it. Takes out just one more, but it's still not too far behind. I mean, Jake's open all the way, or Rob's open all the way through for the first 4.
If you can get out of here with the 9 box. Didn't lose anything there. He was opposite of the 9 from Rob, so he's still only down 3.
26 after 3 to Rob's 29 after 3.
And Robbie got a 9, followed by a spare here. So if he can get 1 out of the 2, he's right there with him.
And a lemon drop on the left side, just the 4 pin.
Oh, they're all still there for him, so he's just got to throw his first ball first here.
Strike ball can make a spare.
Absolutely.
And
great
geez.
ball. It was a great ball.
Gets out of here with a 9 or 10. He's in pretty good shape for the 5th. And that's a 9. 35 after 4, only 3 down at the moment.
He is opposite that spare though, so he's going to want that to stay even.
He really wants to sit down with a mark here. And he's off to the left. On the 2 pin, just picks up the 2 and the 8. So it looks like he picked up 3 pins, the 2, 8, and the 5. A little light on his attempt to go on the inside of that split, and takes out everything but the 4, 9, and 10. So he's going to be open in the 5th, open all 3. He tries for 2, just gets 1, and it's an 8 box. And we start the second half of game 2, and the score currently is 48 plus a ball for Rob Linehan and 43 for Jake Cook.
Candlepin is not a game of perfect.
Yeah, I saw a 300 game on a PBA tour recently, and you'll never see anything like that in Candlepin. And I think that's a good thing. I think the game's got a lot of challenge to it, and we don't need those big balls with the fat pins. We like to go for the thin pins. So Rob put 6 in the spare, and he threw that one in the ocean. So he's a 54 at the completed half.
That's right. Both bowlers have 4 marks through 1.5 boxes. The pro average is 4 marks per game.
All right, Rob ends up with a 9 box. He missed the 4 horsemen left with a 63 after 6. 5 Found the head pin, but a little too much head pin. So spread eagle.
He takes the lead there with 3 splits to Jake's 2.
Andy trying to throw another strike. Unfortunately, the middle of the rack is gone. So, hoping to get out of here with a 7 or 8.
Oh, no.
And that's not really what he wanted in 5 box. For 68 after 7, it puts him under par.
All right, both bowlers with 5 boxes. Jake also has a 6.
And I see my friend Benjamin from Wisconsin is on the line.
Hey, Ben Witt.
And Gretchen and Mike Nardone. Mike, you had an amazing match the other day when we watched you throw a 669. I'm still watched that over and over again a couple of times to see the 151 game. 155 game, I'm sorry.
Mike's definitely going to watch this game because a lot of it...
Whoa! And there's a spare for Rob Linehan coming off the left
time.
wall and slowly taking out the head pin, the last one to fall.
It's a really tight race in the A South right now. If you take out the 5 and 6 seed, Dan Gauthier and Stephen Botte, you got Mike Nardone 2 games ahead of Jake Cook. Jake Cook is currently the line at the 8 seed. Chris Parkinson is 1 behind Jake. Rich Limone 3 behind Jake. And Rob Linehan 4 behind Jake. That's not including the match that happened earlier. And then Luca Charno only 5 behind Jake. So there's... What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 guys fighting for 2 playoff spots, essentially.
And Rob threw a half Worcester on the right, just put 2 in the fill for 80 after 8. So one of the differences here is Jake's got 4 matches to go, and this is Rob's last match. So whatever Rob does here, he's cemented. It's in stone for him. But Jake can go in either direction at this point.
Not that Jake wants to have a bad outing here, but if he did, he does, as you were saying, have 4 games to come back and win some games. For Rob, this is it. And he had a tough 2 games. He lost to Brian Heffernan in a heartbreaker, and then he did what a lot of people do to Justin Waters, not take a lot of points.
Well, I was there for that. We did not live stream that match. It was on TikTok, though. We had about, 4,000, 5,000 viewers, something like that. And
ultimately, they ended up with just about 70,000, but it was 20, yeah.
70,000?
Let me look. I have it.
I hope not that many people saw me bowl. But Rob spares in the 10th, so that gives him 100 plus his ball. So that was a double-header match. I was bowling against Ashley Breton, and Rob was bowling against Justin Waters, I'm sorry. And 8 in the fill, another 108. Rob is consistent, 108 for both strings.
He also has 3 spares in each game.
76,000 total views we had yesterday.
Well, I do remember Justin throwing a 167 in that match.
Yeah, and 140 something, and a 130 something.
He's just an animal on the lanes.
That's Justin Waters doing Justin Waters things.
Yep. Jake coming up for his second half.
He needs a 65, Dan.
And Bob tells me Jake needs 65 to catch up. And Mike Nardone comments that, let's go whoever it is that helps me get into the playoffs. Fair enough.
Narclone. What a guy.
Oh, and a miss on a single pin attempt for a 10. So it's a 9 box 52 after 6.
That's my line.
So Jake's down 11 currently. Oh, come on.
Looking for that 7 pin to fall.
Wait a minute. Something's happening.
Okay.
I don't believe that one. He buried that one. And then he's left with the 7 and the 9, it looks like. Yep.
I don't even know which wood to play.
There is wood back there behind the 9. Yeah.
Wow!
There was wood right on the diagonal on the 9. That's really the only place.
Beautiful play there.
That was a great shot. And I see that he pretty much looking. My video's a little delayed, so you can see the shot afterwards. And it looked like he was basically on the 9.
It's one of the things I love about being here and having it on the phone is you kind of do get an instant replay. You say great shot, you just look quickly down at your phone, you'll see it.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
And a great fill.
Makes it look like I know more about what's going on than I really do. So a 9 fill, 71. It gives him the lead in completed boxes. He's up against a spare in the 8th and a spare in the 10th.
5 boxes right so good.
And another mark for Jake Cook, 81 plus a ball after 8. 1 pin plus his ball for the lead.
That's the thing about Jake. Once he gets going, he's tough to catch up with.
You got to take an early lead. There's no way. He's going to come on strong.
Absolutely.
It's a very solid bowler.
I already heard Rob talking about that 5-boxer through.
And a half Worcester left, or right. 2 in the fill, 83 after 8. He's against an open box here, and then a mark.
Still going to need 25 to tie.
25 to tie, 26 to win. Needs another mark. 10 bucks, and he almost picks up this one, so he's got the shot for the 10.
Yeah. Robbie just said it. I don't know if it picks up on the mic, but that other piece of wood did stop it.
That was definitely gone.
And a nice 10 bucks, a little bounce going down. And now he's at 93 after 9. He needs 15 pins to tie, 16 to win. That's a spare. A spare 6 wins.
And all you can do is throw
wow
at the pocket, hope for the best.
And that appears to be the 6-7 split.
That wood might come into play, but it's still by no means easy.
He's got to kick the 6 over to the 7. I've seen him do it.
2 full.
2 full. And Rob Linehan will win the second string.
You know, both bowlers with 4 splits in that game.
We're seeing a lot of splits. I mean, that's the thing. You're going to see a lot of splits, too, when you have good bowlers.
And a 9 box for a 102 again. So we have a
They were both consistent.
redux of the last match, 108 to 102 again.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Can they do it 5 times?
I don't know if Jake will be okay with that.
No,
I think
Rob would like that.
I think Rob will take it.
Both very consistent, and Jake was the victim of a Millis split. Hit the head pin and you get a 6-7 split, and that's a really tough shot. Had he something a little more attractive, he could have easily won that game. All right, coming into game 3, Rob Linehan first ball in the left-hand pocket, but a little full, and he has a 3, 6, and 4 with no wood to play with. A little tougher for a lefty than a righty on this one, I think.
It's a good bid.
Yep.
Really, you're looking just to split those 2 pieces and carry over.
Yeah, like I said, if you're right-handed, you can come in and it seems to kick over better. And a 10 box for Rob Linehan. Excellent.
You know, you see it. Both these games were won by 6 pins apiece. We had mirror scores 108, 102. It just goes to show that at every level, how important pinning is. So we always say you can find a pin here or there, an extra mark. Can't give up on shots.
And that's part of keeping your head in the game. That's why, I say if you can't get a strike, get a spare. If you can't get a spare, get a 10. You can't worry about that last ball. All right, you missed the spare.
Yeah, go get pins.
Just keep your head in that game. And a 9 box, or no, he missed a spare. I'm sorry. I'm listening to my own wisdom, so to speak, and missed the shot.
See if we can get on the 3rd.
Yeah, either side of it, a 9 box, 19 after 2 for Rob Linehan.
Still in good shape, leaving minimal pins up.
Yeah, Dan, I'm tracking single pins, naked single pins at League, and spares were actually defeating the 10s. So if you single pins for a spare win at 43% at League, and for a 10 it was at 38%.
We're going to see a shot at 1
Now-
here, and he's got it.
Now, Bob, based on what you were watching, was that people throwing balls away? Do you think it was?
No, but there is something about it. I mark his spare down here. There's a bias in the sample. In our league, there are a lot more guys with naked single pins for 10s because they've had 2 shots. The ones that are going for a spare just heaved a perfect ball, So they're slightly better bowlers. I mean, they're having a better frame. Anyway. It was the same bowlers, but there were more. There were a lot more going for the 10. Another nine fill and another spare for Linehan. 38 now through 4.
Another tough fill. 2 4-fills for Rob Linehan.
And so everybody knows in the header on this, on the website, it says Drew Steele is announcing.
Oh.
And I think everybody can tell that the 2 Dans are here and we're not Drew.
No, I
No
don't have
offense,
that
Drew.
roller derby excitement that Drew has.
All right, and Mike, 4 fills. I want credit where credit's due here. All right, 8 box for Rob. He sits down with a 55 half. 2 marks, a mark in a third, a mark in a fourth. And the Roadrunner is going to take a break. And here comes the Coyote.
Going right after him. I like it. That could easily be matched with one mark with an 8 fill.
All right, half Worcester right to start.
Jake's been bowling long enough, but this is one of those situations where you really have to overcome any frustration that you're having because you want to avoid overcorrecting. It's just a matter of finding that zone, finding the ball that you know you can throw. And for anybody who's watched Jake for a long period of time knows he can find that head pin fast and make those pins disappear very quickly.
I've been in league with Jake for quite a while, and I'd say that I've seen him defeat a lot of people, including me, many times.
Absolutely.
And an 8 box to start. Second ball, he came in on a 3 pin. He overcorrected slightly, and just a tough box, but he got out of it okay with an 8.
Yeah, he's only down 2 uneven boxes. That's the ball.
Oh, come on. A little extra pin action late? No, not this time.
Right, well, the wood isn't terrible. If you can cut that over.
It's got to go straight at it, though, because it's, this could be tricky. Those 2 pieces of wood could work against each other. I think it's favorable.
The back wood is the better piece
That's
of wood.
where he's going. Oh, a little too far. Out of the gutter. So that's an 8 box, not a spare. Can't play out of the gutter. And Rick Kamrowski says, bring back Drew.
Bring back what?
Bring back Drew.
Oh, damn.
So I think every Kamrowski special is going to be noted here.
So, accidentally, Rick was just eliminated from the playoffs. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, you got the commissioner here, Rick.
Somehow he went 0-14 his last few matches.
And Jake starts out with 3 pins on that one. Ooh, through the hole again.
It's a tough time. You got to regroup.
All right, let's just get out of this box.
That's a
That's
huge
the way
out.
you do that.
That is a huge out.
I hope that's a confidence booster for him because that was a great shot.
Body language says otherwise, but
You should be proud of that shot. That was a great way to finish that box. And he's only down 7 pins at the moment. Mark puts him back. And another split for Jake.
even with some wayward balls, he still hasn't thrown a bad box this string. He's got 2 8s and a 10.
179.
Almost cuts it over.
And we have more comments from the peanut gallery here. Caitlin Finn says, "Can you smell what Jake is cooking?" Kate, where are you? We could use TikTok today. And a 10 box for Jake. 36 after 4. He's down 11 pins in completed boxes. But he's up against an 8 box. So a mark here would be very useful to him.
Absolutely. Mark with a big fill puts him right back in the game. He's down 12 total.
That's a lot better. Even though he was off that time, that's a lot better leave than we've seen for some of these. That's a Cleary 4 horseman right, the Rick Kamrowski special, plus a bonus pin in the back. And some wood that might help. But he's off to the left. I have to read that like The Rock, Kate? I'm not sure I know what you mean.
What's she saying? Oh.
Hey, Glenn
Jake with a
Gill.
handbox.
Another ACST bowler watching.
55-45 at the half. We're now at the halfway point. Rob's got a 22-pin overall lead, 10 points, 10 pins in this string.
That's right. Let me add up totals here. Actually, Bob's will add up totals, but I'm not looking at his screen.
Rob with a half Worcester right side on that one. Shame we have a whole leaf called half Worcester. We don't even have a house left in Worcester.
That's too bad.
Oh, I think he found the hole.
And Rob wants to pin out of this one.
Danny, I don't know if Millis wants it, but I think it is the lane closest to halfway between Boston and Millis.
Is it? Gotta put on my, oh, another punch. That's a painful 5-box.
Yeah.
Second 5-box for the night, I believe, as well.
Now that's a lot better. The 9-box with some nice fat piece of wood in front of the 2-3. Is that the 2-pin or 4-pin?
4-pin.
4-pin. Okay.
It is spacing out a little bit, so, and he is lefty, so he's going to be coming at it at a slightly different angle than a right-handed bowler would. But he's still got to just drive that back. Really.
Yep. He did it the right way. Just came in roughly on the red line. It looks like.
Rob Linehan never saw a piece of wood he didn't like.
Yeah, he was just to the right of the red line, and he wanted to be definitely below it, I think.
Go straight at it, hit the cap, and get another.
Yep. Spare in the 7th gives him 70 plus a ball.
Off to the right.
Another half Worcester.
If Jay comes back and wins this string, it's going to be the fills for Rob. I think he's had 3 fills totaling 10 pins. He's only up 2, over pace for 100, 72 through 7.
That was a valiant effort to pick up the half Worcester for spare, but he left the 6 and the 10. He went into the pocket rather than inside. And he pins out with a 10-box, 82 after 8.
Big 10. Obviously, spares on half Worcesters look pretty, but if you can get out of there with a 10, it's still just as important. You can't throw too many bad boxes up there.
Well, he'll need a mark to throw another 108 game. And he's got the Rick Kamrowski special on the right and the 7-pin on the left.
I was always told in this situation, you just run the 4 horsemen, and if it carries the 7, it'll carry the 7.
And he did. Off the wall.
Got a little point for that one.
I was trying to hurt David carry the 7 over.
Yep, he hit that perfect. He was right in between the 1 and the 3. Kicked the 1 over, came off the wall.
I think sometimes when you overplay it and get too cute thinking how you can shoot it over, you miss the 4 horsemen completely.
Yeah, I agree. Well, there we go. There's 8 in the fill. It only gave him 6 on the scoreboard. So we'll put the 8 back up there. So Rob's at 108. So if he wants to maintain 108s, he needs to throw 2 gutter balls. He doesn't want to do that. He makes a great effort on the spare, picks up 1 more. He's got just the 9-pin left. And now it's gone for a 110 for Game 3 for Rob Linehan. And a total for the first 3 strings of 326.
Yeah, Robbie's not typically going to be happy with the 326, but I think right now he's going to be happy being 4-0 for the first 2 strings, and he's forcing Jake now to throw 65 half.
That's where he was in the last game, actually. Yeah, both these bowlers are 114, between 114 and 115 bowlers, so they're both bowling under average at the moment. And that was a tough break for him. I don't know about that wood. With a 7. What a great bid that was.
That's what the play was.
That's about as good as you could expect to get out of that. That was a great effort. Looking for the 10. And a 9-box, 53 after 6. 7 pins down. He's up against a mark in the 7th, a mark in the 9th.
Jake threw 2 great balls in that box. Just unfortunately couldn't get it to carry.
Off to the right, to the left of the head pin. You got a little bit of a mess down there. 4 horsemen plus a 7 and 9. Left over through it. He picked up 2 pins. It wasn't a complete waste.
Again, run the 4 horsemen.
That brings him to 8 with an 8, actually, if he can do that. Which he does.
That's a big 10.
That would have been a spare if he had hit that in the second ball. So he's only 8 pins down right now with 3 boxes to go. But he's got a spare in the 9th to go up against, so he needs to mark probably. What's he need? What's it?
36.
36. Okay. All right, off to the left again.
Gotta use my accounting brain once in a while.
I can do it. I just get so wrapped up in watching the play-by-play that sometimes I have to look at the numbers here a little bit.
Just off the head pin.
Just off to the left again. All right, he pins out. He stays in 8.
I've said it before. This game is so mental, and you know we both know that Jake's capable of throwing much bigger strings than what he's throwing. Right
74 now. After 8. He's pinning up. He knows what he needs to do, and he just adjusts for every ball. 74. 2 marks. Oh my goodness.
1-5.
Oh, come on.
He adjusted some. He was off to the left the last couple. Now he's right on the head pin.
I've never made this shot in my entire life.
You're right.
I don't know if I've ever made that. I made the 4 horsemen plus the 9 pin in November.
Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I went for the 3 on the left and it carried over. Like I wish that was on video because that's another one you'll never see again. All right, 8 box. Now he's down.
Now 28 is going to get a double. Double 9.
Right there.
Come on.
Come on.
He's making 8 pin wiggle.
When we talk about total pinfall, you still want to capitalize, get the spare here, get to 100. Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, they're just not working for him right now. I mean, I thought that looked pretty good. Just a little far to the left, and it carried the pin around the back into the pit. And a 9 box. So Jake comes out with a 91 string to Rob's 110. So Rob will take the first 3 strings. And that gives Jake a 295 total. So Rob right now is up
31.
31.
31 can be wiped out real quick if Jake.
Either one of these guys, Jake can throw 150 at you like
if
nothing.
he digs deep and finds that 140, 150. But as you just said with both these guys, you know, Robbie can hold some distance away too. You know, you got to think too, not to put Rob down at all, but if some of those marks that he got were 8 and 9 fills instead of 2s and 4s.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen a strike yet in 3 strings by these guys. So 6 strings between the 2 of them, and no strikes.
Good point too.
That's very rare.
Yeah, especially these guys.
And he had this 6 and a 7 again, but it didn't go for him. So he's just closing out with a 9 box. Second box, game 4, and Rob is in the left-hand pocket and is left with a little mini triangle. There's some wood that I kind of like. Though I worry about the 9 pin a little bit.
That's the one I'm trying to figure out if it's covered. It looks like it might be a little too far to the left to cover it.
He goes straight at it, and it's the 5 that takes advantage of Rob.
If you told me 2 were going to fall, that wasn't the 2. I
was thinking he goes straight at the 3 pin. Or it was the 3. And then it'll deflect the wood into the 5. That's kind of what he did. It didn't work. 10 box for 19.
check mark left. Rob has seen this check mark. I think this is the 4th time we've seen it so far. I don't think we have any conversions.
No, not one yet, no.
He said 3 on the left, 1 on the right.
There
we
it
go.
is.
And I think this was the first completely clean check mark that he saw, too.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of them had wood on them.
Yeah.
That didn't really help the situation. So that's a mark in the third for Rob. 29 plus a ball for box 3. And in the right-hand pocket, picks up 6 for a fill, so he's at 35 after 3. But he's got the 2, 4, 7, and 9 pin, it looks like, or is that 6? 6 pin.
And that piece of wood behind the 2 pin might push over.
You can put it in between those two like that. It did, and
It touched it.
just the wood just came around and kissed it, and not quite enough energy to knock it over.
Rob Linehan threw that ball 27.45 miles an hour. I think if he threw it 28, it would have gone.
$9. 44 after 4, and I see Eric Dunn is watching. Hi, Eric. On a 3 pin, but he's got a nice lead, a 1, 2, 4.
I believe if he gets this, he does not have to pay Rick Kamrowski any royalties.
No, he's 1 pin short.
Runs him.
And he gets it. 54 plus a ball after 5. Not a bad half.
Not at all. You gotta wonder too, like I do think of Jake as a strike bowler, and as was brought up earlier, there's been no strikes all day, and that might be why it's been favoring Rob a little bit. The pins aren't flying as much to the point where they're hammering those strikes.
I can't imagine we'll go through this match without seeing at least one. And there it is.
Ask and you shall receive.
And the first strike of the match comes in box 1 of game 4 for Jake Cook.
I started getting concerned that maybe Bob had taken all the strikes in his warm-up game.
And off to the left, takes out 6, leaves a Kamrowski special right.
Big Phil here. He's not going to be happy with the 6 Phil. He's got to run these down.
Stay with the buck. I bought him too many beers.
Hits it a little thin, but still gets an 8 fill out of it.
Hey, good fill.
All right, 8 fill, 18 after 1. It's an early 9-pin lead.
Might be. I think that's the first time Jake's has the lead all game.
No, he had it briefly
All right.
in the second or third game.
Okay.
In the back end. All right, so a $9, 27 after 2.
He is opposite of spare though.
Opposite of spare. He doesn't need a spare to catch it, but that would help.
He is going to want one, especially trying to catch back total.
6.
And the mark that Rob has in the
All right,
fifth
it
as
goes.
well.
It's a 2-pin hit, 4 horsemen right, plus the 8 in the 9-pin. That's makeable in my book.
Especially with the wood in the back there. Jake throws a heavy ball.
Just off the head pin. He had the right idea. He was in the right pocket, and the head pin didn't go. That's okay.
Still a big 10 box would be very helpful here.
That'll put him up. He's up 1 right now. No doubt about that one. 10 box for 37 after 3. A 2-pin lead in completed boxes.
Going up against Rob's 9, but there's that haunting spare that Rob has in the 5th box that he's probably going to fill with a Worcester anyways. Say that because Rob's right next to me. Oh, wow.
And then he throws a Worcester.
All right, half Worcester right.
I jinxed the wrong guy.
Just like you're
See
saying.
him throw something
No strikes if he
explosive
throws.
here, make it go. Nice. Oh, I don't believe that.
Wait.
He hit that well, and one piece of wood came off the wall and slid in between those 2 pins without taking either one of them. It's perfectly. Now, when you're down by the pins, they're a lot further apart than they look like from here, but still it's aggravating.
From the center, so the pins are about an inch on the bottom in diameter. And from center to center is 12 inches between every pin, so each pin's 11 inches apart from each other. The ball itself is 4.5 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
So you got to think, you could put 2 balls between any 2 pins
There we go.
and still have about an inch on either side to play with.
So we see Jake drop his second strike of this half, and that puts him in a good position because now he's at 56 and 2 balls versus Rob's 54 and 1 ball. So,
I can't make any more predictions.
no. But
If Rob throws a half whisker here,
I'm gonna go home.
yep, you're out.
you're jinxing our bowlers here.
I'm not gonna lie, the way I saw that break, I thought it was gonna happen.
And what do we have here?
This is called the castle.
Makes everybody swear at me every time they do this. I've heard it.
610. It's one of my least favorite leaves.
That's why I claimed it, because I hate this leave.
I think the only one I hate more is when, on that side, if the 9 is also involved, because there's something about it that makes it look easier than it actually is.
Well, I claim that because
31.
I throw it a lot, and that's a 10 box, so Robin's up at 71 after 6.
Never again will I do yard work before I go.
You only get that leave if you throw a really good ball first, so it's very frustrating because sometimes, most of the time, there's a piece of wood in there, but it's usually not helpful wood. And for those of you who play chess out there, Bob has noted that it looks very much like a castling of a king in a chess game. So Rob picks up just 4 in that first ball, just off a little bit.
I thought that still had the chance to carry where he hit it.
So he wants to get out of here with an 8, hopefully a 9 or better, but at least an 8. Going to the left, yep. And that's a 7 box, 78 after 7.
Rob's still thinking about that second ball, only taking 2 pins there. As we said before, there's a lot of space back there that you don't realize from over here.
And off to the left, does not get a half whisker this time, but he's got 3 to the right, plus the 4, 7, 9. Oh, what an effort that was. And Benjamin mentions that an amazing stat he heard way back when is that you can actually fit 2 basketballs in a basketball hoop. I'm trying to visualize that.
I've seen some things where if you actually take the hoop down, it's a lot bigger than you realize.
Yeah, I used to have one on my garage when I was a kid. In our dirt driveway. All right, Robin's up with a 10 box. He's at 88 after 8.
Rob has been off the head pin a little bit.
Cleary right. Kamrowski special plus an 8 box. And he gets it. Picks up the spare on the Cleary for 98 plus the ball.
He's going to need a big fill here.
Not bad.
Off the head pin, but still gets 8. Maybe, no, it's going to say maybe 9, but I think that wood might have held it up.
106 after 9. 8 into fill. And the 1-2 is all that's standing between him and another mark. And there it is. 116 plus a ball.
We are starting to see those bigger fill numbers out of Rob, which is helpful.
4th mark, and he's got 6, 7, 8, and whatever this is.
Another 5.
5. 121 for the 4th string for Rob.
That's good string. Freaking 5s.
And it looks like we have a little bit of an equipment issue down there.
No, on lanes 1 through 4, they have a different reset system, and they won't reset until there's all 10 pins off the lift. Before the push will push everything forward. On 5 through 22, the sweep won't even move until that's happened.
All right, so Jake's on a strike. And he's going to make a bid at the Cleary, too. We just saw Rob take it, so that's 5 for his first ball.
14 spares in the
And he just passes the head pin and picks up the single pin for a 6 fill. 62 after 5 for a 1-pin lead in that completed boxes.
So that means he's going to need a 60 half.
There you go, Jake.
There we go. And 10 box.
Still looking at 2 marks here in the next 4 boxes for Jake to get back the string.
Yeah, he needs 60 to win the string. And he wants to do more than win the string here, that's for sure. All right, that's not bad at all. 2, 4, and 9, right? Or 6.
I think that's a 9.
Yeah. The wood's going to help if he can hit it just right. And just a little too full, but he has not been getting too many breaks here. $9 for 81 after 7. 3-pin lead in completed boxes right now. But he's got 2 marks at the tail end. So far he's of the 60 he needed. He's picked up 19.
If I fold like this versus water, so I took 2.
8 in the first ball.
You get a boy.
And the 3-6 left. Off onto the 6, leaves us 3. And there we go for a $10. 91 after 8, but now he's up against 2 spares. So in these 2 boxes, he needs to pick up 31 pins. Okay, off to the left, needs a smart. And just off to the left again.
You need 10 here to give himself a chance to come back in the last box.
And it's 8. Puts him in a double strike position. 99 after 9. And he needs 22 pins to tie, 23 to win. Needs a strike here. That sounded like a strike.
Good enough ball.
He was off to the left just a little bit on that one.
It's going to bring Rob up to 8 points. So
Oh
at the
my
very
goodness.
least, he will walk out of here with 8. But a sizable lead for total.
And for his last ball on the start, put 2 there. Yeah. Oops. You said 8. All right, 109 for Jake. It's his best game so far, but not enough to catch the 121 that Rob had put in there. My goodness. Sorry, I'm just messing with the score sheet. All right, so Linehan leads 8 points to none so far. And 403. Where's the 403?
I think he had a 91 third game.
The third game was 91. Yep, positive. Yeah, it was definitely 91. I know that for a fact. So, Rob is leading 43 pins in total right now.
Rob opening up with 7 on his first ball, 2 on a second, looking to convert for the 10.
And a $10 to start. Yep. It's quieted down in here now that the St. Tarsus League is gone for the evenings. Just us.
These are important points for both bowlers, whether the match is through or not.
Rob off the head pin, half Worcester left.
Another one.
Seen that a lot today.
I think if I see one of those a game, it's one too many.
Yeah.
And he picked up a bunch of pins on the right. And now he wants to pick up at least 2 or 3 here. He goes to the back for a $7. 17 after 2. Well, hello Dave Peterson. Hello Brian Fournier. Great to see you guys here. Box 3 of Game 5, and Rob is
on the ladder.
Just 1 pin shy of a strike on that one. So it leaves a head pin. Rob says it's the safest pin.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, maybe in this box it is.
The pin down lane 22 that looks awfully cozy.
And a 9-box for Rob, everything but the head pin. As I say, sometimes on some nights I have an estranged relationship with a head pin. Or two ships passing in the night. Never to meet.
I just assumed that my ball's allergic to the head pin after a while.
Not at that time.
This is the shot I like to call Jeremy's favorite leave.
Triangle left?
He just doesn't like triangles.
No. Neither does Rob right now.
For that exact reason is why he does not like triangles.
Well, the thing I hate that happens on this sometimes is you pick up the 2, that means you hit it.
Yeah.
Or you punch out the center pin. And there's a 10-box he pins out, 36 after 4.
Rob's looking to get a mark here, so he doesn't. This would be, I believe, his first time he would be open all 5 boxes. I believe it was string 3. He got the mark in the last box.
You are correct. There we go. He joined the strike club. So now both bowlers have had strikes in this match. We are no longer strikeless.
Now Jake's going to look to answer here. If you can get a mark early, it just get things going. Try to avoid getting skunked here.
Okay, Jake on ball 1 in game 5. And that's a powerful ball that is amazing that wasn't a strike.
Now, I don't know if the speed is a little bit different down here than where he's usually bowling, but I usually see his speed around 36. I'm seeing a lot more 34s.
Oh, wow.
Great shot.
Great.
Fortunately, went out in front of it.
And Rob's here on the microphone, too.
Oh, you don't want to hurt him.
And Jake calls it a foul, so that'll be a 9-box.
Yeah, from where I'm sitting, unfortunately, I couldn't see.
There was a piece of wood in the left gutter, and I think it brushed it first. It was close. And hello to Ray Weatherby.
Danny, Jeff would have called it okay.
On the 2-pin, 1, 3, 6, and 7. No wood to play.
Weatherby.
Off the head pin again.
Yeah, just missed a head pin to the right. Picked up 2, leaves a 1 and a 7. If he can pick this up, he'll still be tied in a string. Nope, off to the right. 8-box, 17 after 2. He is tied with Rob. I'm sorry, I was again doing my math wrong. So, those years of engineering college have gone to waste.
Nardone was thinking the same thing. Oh, come on.
Check mark. Oh, no. Wait a minute. That would. If the wood settles up, it's not too bad.
It's not bad. It's a little straighter than you like, but I think Jake can make
I
that
don't know why I
work.
love the check mark. Whoa!
It's also different bowling an ACST match when you have nobody else in the house. It's very, you hear every roll of the ball.
Oh, and another 8-box.
Very different feeling.
And Jake's obviously frustrated. I heard him mention that he had done a lot of yard work before he came in, so I think he was a little bushy before he started.
It's tough. I mean, not that, but I know one of the things I won't do, I worked on my car for 6 hours before a match, and I was lucky to break 90. And the lesson learned, I would never do that again.
I don't like bowling 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I get fried. I'm older than you by a lot, but
not by too much.
I don't like not bowling 2 days in a row.
No, Bob's about a 6-day-a-weeker.
Bowling every day.
I think we
At
pay.
least 10 games a day.
I think we pay him to do the passport at this point.
he gets his money out of the passport, which is a great deal here at Ryan's. Yeah. What does that cost a month?
$34.95 for adults to bowl 3 strings a day all month. It's not a bad deal. You obviously want to buy it in the first or second of the month. You don't want to buy it on the 28th. But we've been doing it for the last 2 years or so, right after COVID. And
That's right. The more you bowl, the cheaper they get.
yeah, I mean, you can essentially bowl 90 strings in a month at $34. It's less than 50 cents a string.
I see Bob does it a lot. Mike Smith does it a lot.
Yeah.
Duncan.
Duncan uses it as well.
I've had one from time to time, but if I can't come in every day, then my arms
You
shot.
still make your money back if you do it, but you're also in about 3-4 leagues, so.
Yeah, I'm in 3 leagues plus ACST.
ACST.
That's a lot.
Head pin shot. Come on, piece of wood.
And I frankly, some people can do that, and I just found I was fried at the end of this season. My arm hurt. I was having good and bad matches, but it was just too much. There we go. There's a mark. Matching marks in the 5th.
Absolutely huge.
And Jake is at 42 plus a ball, and Rob is at 46 plus 2 balls.
Last time we were at this point, Jake had a 2-pin lead and the strike.
Yep.
Rob had the spare. Now we see it opposite except 4 pins, so we'll see if everything gets inversed and Jake goes on a run.
So we're coming into the finale of this match. And Rob has got a 9-drop plus a wiggly 7.
Can cut it over. Again, easier for a right-handed bowler at this angle, but I think Rob can still do it.
He did it once before.
Red line or lower
Same
should
kind of
take
lead.
it.
Yeah, it's safer to play the wood and try to go past it.
Rob's never met a piece of wood he didn't like.
No. He reads it well and has a spare on a strike.
If there was a piece of wood in lane 4, Rob would have played it.
Were you here Friday night when Mike Smith threw a pin into the next lane, almost 2 lanes over?
I was there. I was the one that retrieved the pin.
8 in the fill for the spare in the 7 or 6, and
Big fill.
Rob is at 74 after 6.
Let's see if that
5-10.
Yeah, we're gonna see if the pin that's shown
Maybe.
on the cap
Got it.
gonna play into it, and there it was.
3 in a row for Rob.
Only I knew if I could put the ball where I know to put it.
Makes
All right, so that's what we call a phantom rack.
Strike.
So we're just gonna hit the reset button. And Rob's really good at following directions. So what happens on that situation is there's a limit switch. It's called a tube start switch. And every once in a while on lane 3, it doesn't seem to catch.
Well, there's a break. That's not bad at all.
No.
He's off on the
One to hit.
3-pin, and he's got 1, 2,
Hit
6,
on-
and 10.
Hit it on either side, it'll go. Still got to hit him.
That's a little odd. He takes out just the 2 and the 10
Yeah.
and leaves the middle pins.
I'll tell you, Rob is one of the few guys. I don't understand how he can bowl so distracted and still bowl well. He's having a full-blown conversation with himself up there.
Well, when we were bowling Saturday, we were talking all the time. We were up in the lane.
Yeah, but he'll talk to nobody.
Well, so do I. I'm not known to be non-talkative myself, so. He ain't the only one. 8 on the first ball, 4 and 7.
That
Some
wood
wood.
is beautiful. Just at that point, you want to hit it on the lane.
And he does not hit it on the lane. He jinxed him again.
The on the lane part was the important nuance.
Out of the gutter, so an 8 box. He's got to foul out twice,
Yeah, Rob still has a good game going.
but he gets 2 Fs for that ball.
It's like my report card all over again.
108 after 9 for Rob Linehan.
Gonna need a mark to beat his last string, 121.
Well, it wasn't going to be that big of a fill anyway, huh? All right, so 4 on the first ball. Avoided the half Worcester. Tough shot. And off on the 3-pin, just picks up a couple more. He's got the 1, 4, 7, and 9 for his final ball of this match.
Got a couple of options. You can go for the head pin, try to take 4. You can also, let's say the other option is going for the
7
easy
bucks.
2 idea.
Yep, $7. Play it prudent. Don't do anything tricky. 115 for the final string for Rob.
Jake needs a big fill and 73 pins.
And a very respectable 562.
Yeah, as Bob was saying, 73 minus the fill.
He's off on a 2-pin again, and he's left with the Caleri. So 5 in the fill, 47 at the half. Up against 2 more marks. Oh, all the way around the 2-pin, or 3-pin, I'm sorry. I don't know why that didn't go, but it didn't.
Yeah, he's had a couple rough balls, but I feel like a lot of times when he's hitting what he wants to hit, it still isn't carrying for him.
And a 9-box for 56 after 6.
Gonna need 60 in the last 4 boxes, so he's gonna need 3 marks here, if not a double.
All right, that's just the 5-pin. It's easy if you can hit it, but it looks like a tiny little stick when you're looking at it from 60 feet away.
That's where
And he's off to the left.
that's where the game gets so mental. When you're on, that pin looks like you could just get up there and not even think about it and throw it and hit it. When you're struggling, like you said, that pin looks miles away.
I have found on the rare occasion that I've thrown a big string, it seemed easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I come in and throw an 80, and it seems like I'm working my tail off to get there. It's really weird, the psychology of this game. 10-box for Jake, 66 after 7, 3 to go. Need some big marks here. And again, a Cleary.
Seen that leave a lot today.
He's just off a little bit today. It's not on to his normal standards.
You know it's quiet when you can hear the pins racking from the back.
Well, for me, it's when I can actually hear that there's music here, because I'm a little hard of hearing, and sometimes I just like, oh, they got the music on.
Copyrights to this music.
I didn't hear any music. Never mind. There's no music on.
We
That
don't
was-
have the copyright to this.
That was just
music.
Rob singing in the background.
Oh, okay. And a 9-box. 75 after 8. 75 after 8, and he is under par and needs 40 pins in 2 boxes to tie.
Fix. Take
All
another.
right. On a 2-pin again.
He's gonna need a double to win.
This can be made. Play the inside of the 1-pin, or the head pin, right?
Yeah. Well, that wood's good.
Right there. And then
Yeah,
he
boy.
gets it. That was exactly how I was thinking that. On the other hand, I thought maybe playing the left would work, but
Yeah.
I thought inside was better.
I
That was a
think that
great
was
shot.
He's gonna need a mark. He's gonna need to throw a hammer right here.
Come on.
Oh, give me a break.
He threw a good
Wow.
enough ball.
5-6 with wood.
See, I would almost play it deep.
Jake,
And there it
Or off
is.
the wall.
Jake the professional, finishing out the string.
Or off the wall.
He's a 103 plus a ball, and Rob will take all 14 points today. It's late action, so he finishes with a 108. Seen that score a couple times today.
That puts Rob back into the playoff mix. No, it's tough. We've all been on those ends where nothing's working, the ball doesn't feel good, and to just throw ball after ball, it gets to the point you feel like you're just going through the motions. And we've all been there, and it's a tough outing.
I sure have been there. And just days when you're just off, a little stiff, something's not feeling
So
right.
guys,
You have some
I'm
fatigue.
showing the standings in the last scene. If you could just say your goodbyes and talk about that. With the 14 points, let's see. Rob will go
hold on.
to 121 and 131, and Jake is going to go to 83 and 113. You got there are 3 different pollers in between, but I think Rob.
There's a lot of matches left.
Yeah, Jake's on the 8th. Was in the 8th spot coming into this. I think that puts Chris Parkinson in the 8th slot right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches left though.
So that's a good finish for the season for Rob, and now he just gets to wait and see what everybody else does to see if he has a playoff spot. And Jake will be back. I have no doubt about that. He's got 4 more matches to go, and I think we're going to see a lot of great bowling from Jake going forward. So great working with you tonight, Danny.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. Bob, you as well.
Right. Bye for now.